They are the must-have playground craze of the moment, as simple as they are irresistible. The rubber toy covered in small bumps which can be pushed in and out with a satisfying pop. Whether played as a game, a toy, or just used as a soothing way to calm down in these difficult times, Poppets appeared seemingly out of nowhere last year in shops, markets, and online.But this is an overnight sensation more than 40 years in the making that owes its recent success to the influence of a capuchin monkey in North Carolina, with a very big social media following. The original Poppet was the brainchild of two Israeli games designers, Theo and Ora Koster. Between them they invented over 190 games, one of the most famous of which is Guess Who? A face recognition game which has been sold in multiple language versions around the world. Theo was born in Amsterdam in 1928, and was a classmate of Anne Frank, whose diary became one of the best-known accounts of the Nazi Holocaust. Theo survived the war by living with a non-Jewish family and changing his name from Morris Simon, which they feared sounded too Jewish. He drove to Israel on a motorcycle in 1955, where he settled, and met his wife Ora, an art teacher. They merged their names to form their company name, Theora Design. The pair started by making things for companies to give away as free gifts, including a very successful ice cream stick which doubled as a construction toy. That made enough money to let them focus on designing games. The first Poppet toy had a tragic inspiration, when Ora's sister, an artist, died of breast cancer in 1974, and Ora had an idea in a dream. She said, "Theo, imagine a large field of breasts, ladies' breasts, that you can push the nipple." She was very open, she said whatever was on her mind to anyone, says Ora Koster, Theo, and Ora's son who runs the company with his brother Gideon. She went to him and she said, "Do a carpet of nipples that you can press from one side to the other." And he did just that. The pair produced some prototypes, but the idea went nowhere, partly because the silicone rubber which today's Poppets are made from wasn't available. A few years ago, the brothers dusted off their parents' idea, which had been shelved since the 70s, and struck a deal with the Montreal-based games company, Foxmind. It was repackaged as Last One Lost, a two-player game where players take turns to push the bubbles, and try to avoid pushing the last one. Launched in 2014, it sold a few thousands, says Boaz. But in 2019 it was picked up by the US retailer, Target. They started selling a bit more, but still it wasn't very amazing, until someone created some movies and clips over TikTok and YouTube. And there was a specific clip with a little monkey that presses from one side and then turns it and presses from the other side. It was the essence of the idea that our parents thought of, and this made 500 million hits, says Boaz. The influencer monkey's name was Caitlin Ray. She lives in Elizabeth City, North Carolina with her owners Jessica Latcher, who owns a farm, and Jessica's husband Paul, who runs an irrigation company. "Somebody sent her a Poppet for her birthday," says Jessica. "That was the first we had ever seen of them. I don't know if it was an original or whatnot, but then they started making all these other brands, and all her fans kept sending them and sending them. I mean, we have boxes and boxes of just Poppets." And so the craze was born. You can now buy Poppet pineapples, dinosaurs, unicorns, pistols, Apple logos, even the children's TV character, Peppa Pig, none of them licensed by Foxmind or Theora Design. The assumption of sales is between 500 million to a billion copies, says Boaz, but 99.99% of them are knockoffs, adds Gideon. Shops, for instance, their shelves groaning with Poppets, often have no official licensed products on sale at all. And on Amazon in the UK, many of the Amazon's choice and bestseller items are also not licensed, while the official versions are hard to find, even if you type the company name or the official brand names. Last One Lost and Go Pop. Amazon says it's working with Foxmind to protect its intellectual property rights, and the official products are listed more prominently in the US on Amazon.com. Foxmind, meanwhile, is planning to recapture some of that market with more innovative designs of its own. And they do what they can to fight the copycats in law. Though they've made more money for pirate manufacturers than for themselves, the brothers are delighted by the creativity the family idea has unleashed. Poppets have been used to bake lavish sweets and cakes, while others have used them to help people with autism. "We are not complaining," says Boaz. Or passed away a few months ago, in her 90s, happy that her invention had become a worldwide hit after all these years. She was laid to rest in a cemetery in Tel Aviv beside her husband Theo, who had died 2 years previously. Their gravestones are designed to echo one of the couple's most famous gifts to the world's players, the cards on Guess Who. "Much to our sorrow, our father never saw it," says Boaz. "But I know as a designer, I know he would be very appreciative."
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.